Morning, everyone. Greetings from actually New Orleans. I think this is one of the first assignments that I've done that is actually in New Orleans. We've been doing a lot of traveling this semester. So here's my barracks room. Welcome. I wanted to highlight a few things that I had learned throughout the course that I thought was very interesting. And the first being the choice of repertoire. It was highlighted in the table on the lecture in Module 5, and also with the Rogowski article in that same lesson about how to assess a child's voice and what repertoire is appropriate for them. I had always known that the range shouldn't be too wild and the songs shouldn't be too long, but I never really understood the strict exact guidelines for that. For example, for first grade and below, having the D4 to A4 range with the D to F sharp tessitura. I understand now that that's very specific, and I've noticed that even in the 8 weeks that I student taught, how incorrectly I had presented songs to students, and that I didn't realize I was setting them up for failure almost, or by straining their voice, I didn't realize I was setting them up for unhealthy habits. I did understand that they needed to go into singing with the ease of their voices. No need to strain, no need to yell. I understand that much, but like I said, the specific guidelines were what really interested me. And everybody says, especially with music advocacy courses and all that, how it's really difficult to grade a child's progression throughout music, and that all these administrative influences are looking for tangible physical proof of learning, and a lot of teachers have difficulty with providing them that. However, this article, the one I just showed you, really does provide a good rubric for progression, and I think it's going to be a really effective tool in terms of music advocacy and keeping music education in the classrooms. I really, as difficult as it might be for a beginning teacher to begin incorporating these tests with strict accuracy, I really do believe that with practice and with continual testing, not just at the beginning and the end of the year, maybe once every 2 weeks, once every month, I really do believe this will provide good tangible evidence and show how your students are progressing, which will allow you a more personal interaction with the students and a way to change and modify your lessons as appropriate. So that was my first little tangent, and the second one was about movement. And as a teacher, I always understand that movement is very critical to any student's learning, and the articles about play, as interesting as they were, it was stuff that I had already assumed other teachers knew about. So I understand that play is very important in the classroom. However, the article that really struck my interest was about the music the movement babbling, and how movement parallels the learning of speaking, and how we need to approach movement with the same caution or the same steps as we do with learning for teaching children how to sing, like how the Gordon textbook defines throughout the whole book. The thing that really got me interested was the movement activities and how we're supposed to go about teaching. So, starting from the trunk and moving outwards to the arms. This is something that never even crossed my mind as a teacher. I'm just thinking, we can clap and we can move our fingers and we can move our heads, and moving body parts will allow for musical learning and body understanding. However, I didn't realize that I was setting my students up for failure because some of them were not physically capable of achieving these activities yet, because I hadn't started from the beginning and worked my way up to these more complicated activities. For example, there's we'll go with the marching and galloping ideas. It says, thus, readiness activities should begin with rhythmic movements that do not require children to transfer weight completely, such as bending the knees, rather than marching or galloping. So, this goes under the whole non-locomotor movements. And I'm thinking, oh, the children are forming a conga line. This is adorable, and it's really going to help them, find the beat by putting their feet down. However, it did not cross my mind that the children would not be physically ready or capable of moving their feet with the beat, and instead maybe moving their knees was a lot easier for the children to do because their feet are stationary on the ground and they're just worrying about their general body weight. So it's my little rant. Thank you everyone for all of your wonderful responses throughout the course, and hopefully we get to work with you soon in the future as well. Bye.